Welcome back, Lancaster, to Lancaster Connects. It's Monday, 2 o'clock in Lancaster, and that means it's time for the live show, Lancaster Connects. I'm in a beach state of mind this week, man.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You pulled those glasses out of the closet.
I told you to bring your cabana wear for our show today. There's a rhyme and a reason for this. But first, Joe, welcome to the show.
What's going on? Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for being here. We're going to do a little business, but we weren't just going to let you sit in the corner because nobody puts baby in the corner.
I'm used to it. I'm good.
Did you say baby?
We'll get to that.
All right.
We'll get to that.
All right. Teasing.
Yeah. But we are in our cabana wear. We're going to jump right in. We're in our cabana wear because it's November. November has turned itself into a fantastic month to invest in better sleep with a new mattress. A lot of our vendors have great promotions this month. And Gardner's has our Dream Here Escape There promotion, which is your opportunity when you invest in a nice mattress, $2,999 or more. Gardner's, these two guys, are going to give you a 7-day luxury travel voucher. And you get to pick your choice of a cruise or a condo resort. Isn't that cool?
It's pretty sweet, man. It's a great deal.
It really is. And so let's dispel some myths right away. So as Gardeners, with our reputation, our desire and heart to serve the community, we would never open up our customers to nasty things like timeshare presentations.
Awful.
Right? They're
awful.
No. Boo. Right. I don't have a boo button. I would use that.
Boo.
Thank you, Joe. Right, picking me up. I love it, man. Love it.
We brought you for the sound effects.
Right. So there's no timeshares with this 7-day luxury travel voucher. There's no forced schedules or presentations where it's other forced pitches in hiding. So like you don't have to go get the Clams Casino at 4:00 on the ship to buy the, forced casino chip purchase. None of that. Okay.
You can go where you want to go, when you want to go.
And how you want to go. Again, it's your choice of a condo stay or a cruise. And then lastly, it is a travel voucher. You're unlocking 50 to 80% of savings. And, you're going to make this trip as amazing as you want. On this graphic here in studio, on the back, we can show you some highlights of people that have traveled with Destination Motivation. One family did a 7-day Caribbean cruise with 4 people. That's where the 4 came from. They stayed in a great junior guest suite. That cruise would have been $25,000. They invested $5,400 in that.
That's unbelievable.
It really is. And then another family just wanted to get the kids together with the grandkids. They did a nice condo resort in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and it was $199 for the week. Which, like Joe, that's tremendous.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stay in a Hampton Inn.
Not at all.
For much less than that. And that's like one night.
That's like 2 tanks of gas.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of condo resorts within a drive. You think down those the tall skyscrapers, high rises you see at the beach, Jersey Shore, Maryland Shores, Delaware Shores. Those have condos in. We might be able to connect you there. You can drive. Cruises, you got Port of Baltimore, Port of Philly, Port of New York, Newark Port. You can cruise out of there. Even some Virginia locations aren't that far. You avoid the airline travel. The smart thing when you're cruising is to get there the day before, which means another hotel night. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot right here in our backyard to unlock and make this 7 days of luxury travel amazing. And so we put our cabana wear on to really drive home the point of this value with purchase this month. You get all the vendor savings, you get double deals, and you get our 7-day travel voucher. Our team is experts at helping you come in and maximize what discounts, what options are available to you. And we're really excited about this. And lastly, the company came recommended to us from one of our mentors who had his own business for a number of years. And they gave these out with purchase of his home services company. So like heating systems, cooling systems, plumbing, etc. So very trusted. We would never put our customers in harm's way, but we're very excited. 7 days luxury travel voucher, your choice cruise or condo resort. That's now to November 30th. And so we've already had people claim it. Yep. And the great thing is you get to start planning your trip within 72 hours of being in the store.
With a professional travel concierge.
Yeah.
They do the research for you. give you all the information about the places you want to go. That's often the challenge with traveling. You're trying to do your own research. And as a novice person booking travel, you're not sure if you're getting the best deal, if you're going to the right places, if you're lining up the right itineraries. These professional travel concierge from Destination Motivation, they know what they're doing to get you the best bang for your travel dollar.
I might have to get a mattress before I leave today.
You just might.
You just buy it and then go on the trip.
That's part of the deal to be on the show.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's what I signed. I didn't read
that
it.
was in that fine print.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that was in that fine print. Yeah. And so we're very excited about it. So excited. We did the Universal Athletic Club fall open house, met a lot of people. I read the download this morning from them. 1,700 people came through. So we had
out Donna Boomsma from
Thank
Universal.
you, Donna. Yep, for organizing it as always in the spring and fall. And so we had people enter to win in our prize box, and we mixed it up. We did the travel voucher as an opportunity to win that straight out. There it was just before we got the entries, but we had all the entries here, and we drew our winner. And congratulations to Donna Starr from Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Donna, congratulations. We are our winner.
I'm glad you labeled the buttons.
I did. Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I think any of the others.
Any of them would have been okay, but the applause was most appropriate for Donna. So there you go, Donna. You win the 7-day luxury travel voucher. We will reach out to you. And in case you're not watching, because you should be watching. If you're in Lancaster, what are you doing with your life if you're not watching our show at 2:00 on Mondays?
Facts.
But we'll reach out to Donna and connect her. Thank you, everybody else, for playing along. I think it's time to get in the show. Ben, why don't you formally welcome Joe to the show?
Joe.
Well, who said we're taking off the sunglasses? I think I'm rolling the whole show in these shades.
I'm going to.
Oh, that's right. You're old. That's why you have the dad glasses on.
Might need to read something. Joe Yurick, welcome back to the show. I just
thank you.
Tapped the table. I know I'm not supposed to do that.
Uh-oh.
Joe is a 2-time guest on Lancaster Connects. Joe is the owner of the local J-Dog junk hauling franchise here in Lancaster County, and also a new venture called the Sober Vet Podcast, which we're going to get into and have a deep conversation about you and the podcast and what you're doing and lives you're changing with the podcast there. So for people who may have seen, Joe, your first episode on the show, you actually won a Connecties Award in 2024. Jeff and I have been doing this podcast now for almost 5 years. And last year was our first ever year-end guest awards. And Joe was a recipient of one of our first ever Connecties Awards, and you won for creepiest moment,
which I brag about everywhere I go. It drives my wife nuts. She's like, "Just stop." I'm like, "No, I'm one of 5."
You don't know how big of a deal I am.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
So
red carpet.
If you've watched this show before, if you watched the episode where Joe was on before, you may remember this clip, which I believe our excellent producer Chris.
I want to turn this into a thing, so I kind of turned it into a meme. So here, I don't know if you can see this. Here's creepy trailer.
Oh no, God.
And every once in a while, I'll post something and I'll just write like something stupid around it. And then I'll always end the tagline with "Love Creepy Trailer Baby." So it just kind of became like one of those funny things. And it stinks because like that baby went with that load because everything smelled like cat urine, like it was all great. So in hindsight, if I knew how popular that baby would be, I would have kept it. But that's the only picture.
I was going to say, we need to have Creepy Trailer Baby come in here on some mattresses.
It might be possessed. I don't know if my wife would be happy if I brought it home. Like
it's true.
There's
true. That would be,
There's an oddities store at the Berkshire Mall now. Berkshire. Is that what it's called in Berks County?
No, you're
right on board.
here.
I know. Yeah, it's
fancy and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, it's an oddities store. And in there, they have in these display cases, apparently voodoo baby dolls and like haunted and possessed baby dolls.
That's maybe where it went. It probably crawled out of the trash and went a Redding
style. Yeah.
But like every time I walk by there, I just kind of do this double take. Like, could it really be? Who knows?
I did a delivery one time. This is old garden. This is probably 15 years ago.
I wanted to ask you. This is great.
And it was a futon delivery, and it was in a room with like 500 dolls in it. I was so creeped out. I mean, my kids, my daughter might have had some dolls, no big deal, but like 500 creepy looking dolls in a room where you're spending like half an hour or 45 minutes in it. It was weird and
Like somebody was
wacky.
looking at you.
Yeah, that one doll as you walk by, it follows you. Like,
I couldn't get out of that room fast enough. It was terrifying, quite frankly, terrifying. So, but I like your creepy baby story. That's cool. That's good.
Hey,
it's just
anything,
one of those fun things.
yeah, anything you can do in this day and age to go viral. Yeah, within your values, of course. I just about went off the deep end there, but creepy baby, a creepy trailer baby. I like that. That's cool.
Well,
Joe, you're in Lancaster Connect's history. Thank you.
I was very proud. And as you can see, I was watching it live because I commented right away. I had a tear in my eye. I'll never forget that moment. Only behind my wife giving birth, that was probably the second proudest thing.
It's right up there. We're quite honored.
Yeah.
Likewise. Thank you guys.
It's great. So we have the Cabana Wear Seinfeld reference.
Yes, we do.
And the dolls, that's a Seinfeld
Yes.
reference.
Yep.
Let's
There's
see if
almost every episode has a Seinfeld reference.
we can probably get 3 more for 5 out of the show. I think that's a challenge
Yeah,
we should lay
Challenge
down.
accepted.
Yeah,
Right.
challenge we should lay down. All right. Ben, you want to lead it off?
Yeah. So this show is on November 10th. November 11th is Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day. And Joe, you have a military background. So let's learn about that background. Branch of service you were in, and maybe talk a little bit about your experience. And then, of course, we'll jump into J-Dog and the Sober Vet podcast.
So I actually joined my senior year in 2000. I joined the Army in the Air Defense Artillery. I worked with the Patriot Missile System. I did my boot camp at Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma. And then I went to Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas for my AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. It's where I learned how to work with the Patriot Missile System. And then I stayed at Fort Bliss for my first duty station. And then 4 or 5 months later, we had just returned from a battalion 5K. We're eating chow in the chow hall. And my buddy is like, look, someone hit one of the towers in New York. And we're like, what? And then we watched a second tower get hit live. And we're like, uh-oh. Because when I joined, it was peacetime. I thought I'd do a quick 4 years and get out. And no, that happened. So then a couple months later, we loaded all of our equipment on a railroad, sent it down to southern Texas. It went over to Qatar. We met it in Qatar. We set up in the northern tip of Qatar, a place called Ras Laffan, because we were protecting any incoming Scuds or airplanes or anything that was going to hit Central Command, which was in Doha. So we were protecting that. And then as Third ID was encroaching in on Baghdad, the air threat diminished. So then we loaded our equipment again. We set up outside of Kuwait City. And then once Third ID took over Baghdad, there was no more air threats. So then we sent our equipment home. We stayed in country to pull details to help other people out for a bit. I actually got stop lost while I was deployed. I originally signed up for 3 years, and needs of the government. The day actually we emplaced in Kuwait City was the day I was supposed to get out. I had a job lined up, I had college lined up, but when you're at war, the government's like, no, we need you. So my MOS was stop lost for like 10 months. So yeah, I completed that. And then when I got back stateside, they were like, if you re-enlist, we'll send you out to Germany, which I was very tempted to do. But I was like, you know what? Like, I just survived the war. I came back with my limbs and most of my sanity. And I was like, me and Uncle Sam are square. So I got an honorable discharge in 2004. And yeah, that was my brief but very impactful military career.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable.
So what's it like packing up equipment like that? Like, is there like a checklist of things?
It is a lot of work. Packing up, to deploy, it is a lot of work. It probably took us a month and a half while we were stateside to pack everything up to send over there.
Is there a moment where, somebody forgets a critical cord or control box and y'all fly over and you're opening up like,
Ruh-roh.
dang it, Joe, we told you, and you said you had it.
No, luckily we have checks on checks on checks, and then a couple balances, and then a few more checks. So we made sure we had everything we needed before we left.
Got it.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Well, I meant to say it before, but thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thanks for your support. Appreciate you
thank
guys.
you.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that. How old were you when that 9/11 happened?
19. No, I was still 18.
18.
And then when I deployed, we were 19. So I was still a teenager, which that in hindsight is crazy because I have a 22-year-old. And when he was 18, I'm like, no way, I was 18 when I deployed. Like, you're such a baby. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
But when you're that age, you think you could rule the world and do whatever. And
I still think that.
Yeah. I stopped thinking that about 2 years ago. But
yeah. So let's talk about transitioning back into civilian life. 2004, you got back here, honorable discharge. What's that like? I know it's challenging for a lot of veterans.
That was very difficult, especially back then, because nowadays there's a lot of programs, especially through the VA, that help with that transition. But in 2004, there wasn't. So it was just kind of like, all right, thanks, we're done here. And you go from living together, working together, fighting together, crying together. Like, you literally experience all of life with these people living in the barracks. And especially when you go to war, because you're dependent on each other to have each other's back. You're at a different state of awareness when you're deployed. So to come home and just to lose that and then to kind of sit in silence is tough. And that's where alcohol and other substances kind of help mask that transition and what you're feeling and what you're missing. Because when you're in, alcohol is part of the, it's a part of everything when you're in the military. It's just, you do it when you celebrate, you do it when you're sad. It's the only thing you're allowed to do, because you can't smoke weed or pop pills because you get drug tested in the military. Right. So just part of the culture is drinking. So I just continued that. There's me passed out on the couch. I continued that as a civilian, and it just, with alcohol, it just gets worse with time because your tolerance just gets higher. So if you want to maintain that same buzz, you just have to drink more. Yeah. And that does not end well.
No, it doesn't. I apologize. I just realized I had these on the whole time. I'll take those off. The bit for the travel is done.
I mean, you wear those all the time, so it's just a part of your normal wardrobe. Yeah,
normal wardrobe thing. Yeah, normal wardrobe thing. No, I mean that's a very poignant part of your story, is that being connected, and then it's almost like the ejection seat happens into loneliness and solitude.
Yep.
And I hope people can understand that when they see a veteran out there, maybe struggling, maybe not getting it all together as much as they might think, which who defines that? What Joe just shared is pretty powerful.
And another thing that's tough is when you're in, there's such a structure. You know who's in charge via the rank on their collar. You know what the day-to-day is like. Everything is just so structured. So when you are brought back to the civilian world, to some vets, it's just chaos, because you have people in leadership positions that are not leaders. They're not trained right. They just happen to work at the company longer than you. They're not disciplined. And to someone who's used to being told what time to wake up, what time to eat, what time to go to sleep, to now being in a civilian world. And it's sometimes it's hard to deal with for people. Yeah. It's just chaos.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad you made it back safe, and I'm so happy you're here. We kind of jumped into creepy trailer baby right away. And maybe some people are still playing catch up, wondering, okay, well, I get that Joe served and we're happy about that. And you launch Patriot missiles, which is just really cool. If anybody should be wearing the Vipers, it's you for launching missiles like that. But you operate JDOG, which is obviously proudly veteran owned, operated franchise, all of veterans. And you do junk removal and all kinds of other things. So why don't you share what you do and how you help, and, the connection to creepy trailer baby, and how just remind people you find cool stuff on these trailers.
Absolutely. Yeah. So JDOG Junk Removal and Hauling is a national franchise, veteran owned and operated. And when I heard about it, I was actually working for another company, and the owners introduced me to this idea of JDOG. I immediately fell in love with the mission, because unless you knew me, you didn't know that I was a vet, because a lot of veterans, we're humble people. We don't like to pound our chest and say, hey, I'm a veteran, thank me for my service. It's nothing like that. But when I saw JDOG with the obnoxiously beautiful wrap trucks and the fact that I could kind of be proud of being a vet again, I jumped right in. And then I started hiring veterans, which is to me, it fills my bucket. So I get to hang out with Army vets all day. I don't discriminate. We just happen to be all Army. I don't know how that worked out. But yeah, so we go into homes, and we help people realize the therapeutic release of decluttering. And sometimes when we're doing that, not everything's junk. So with the items that we could repurpose, we have a warehouse in Willow Street where we take them and we use that to donate to veterans in need. The last Saturday of the month, we open it up to the public, garage sale style, so anyone could enjoy these items. And in the beginning, what I realized was I wear the uniform that I served in because I'm proud of that. Well, a lot of our customers are housewives and usually they're home alone. So when we would show up, we're like big muscular guys in these woodland camos. Like I noticed some of the ladies were like kind of intimidated. I'm like, oh crap, the veteran thing's like backfiring. So I wanted to show people that we're normal guys and we're here to help. So we started making videos of us wearing things we would find on jobs, doing things on jobs, just stupid things to like kind of make fun of ourselves and show like, we're not here to intimidate. We're here to help. And in lieu of that, we were on this one clean out in Willow Street, and my truck commander brought a load out and he found this creepy baby and just sat it on the back of the trailer. And I came out and I threw my stuff and I was like, yo, that baby's creepy. So I just took a picture of it and I was like, I'll probably use that one day.
Trailer baby was born.
Exactly. Yep. So unfortunately the baby went with that load because I never knew how big this baby would be, but I turned it into a meme and I would just do these stupid posts with love, and I would end it with love creepy trailer baby. And it just took off. It was great. So, and it won me an award, which I'm super proud of. Like I said, I have the word tatted on my sleeve. I just don't want to pull I don't want to be too braggadocious. So yeah, very proud.
Everything I envisioned for Lancaster Connects.
Exactly.
That's right.
You know, people get Harley Davidson tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
They get like Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne tattoos. And then it's Lancaster Connects.
Yep.
It's the
And the echelon.
Yep. Love it.
Of putting a stamp on somebody's life. I love it. That's what we're here to do, people.
Changing lives.
That's what we're here to do. You know, you said not everything that needs to get thrown out as treasure. I made a video. I didn't put it on my social yet. I'm kicking myself that I didn't, but I'll just explain it. So we're transitioning in our RV to go on the road next year. We're going to do a bunch of trips. And so I'm still going to be working and I'll be on the road connecting in on Lancaster Connects virtually that way sometimes next year. So I have to have an office. So we took our bunkhouse and our camper and made it into an office. I took some cabinets from the store that we no longer need and made a dresser because RVs, you know, don't have a lot of room. Even the big ones, they're not all that great. So I refashioned the bunkhouse into my office and kind of a dressing room for my wife and I, because it's right adjacent to the bathroom. And I had this piece of styrofoam insulation. This is to where not everything is junk. Okay. And I'm speaking to the wives here today. I'm going to look right in the camera.
With your cabana wear.
I have to get
the vipers are back. Watch out.
So not everything is junk, ladies. I know you think men are crazy when we hold on to a piece of styrofoam that's not even a square anymore. It's like a rectangle at the bottom and then like an L shape up at the top. This is actually what I had. But let me tell you something. You'd be so proud. That piece of styrofoam is going to keep those cabinets from jiggling back and forth and wiggling out of their spot as we're rolling down the road.
Nice.
Vipers on, laid back.
I don't think Steph's going to let you wear those Vipers.
Oh, she'll let me. You have no idea how much Mama loves these Vipers.
Okay. Oh, right.
No, but so the point being, you all joke. There's a lot of memes out there about the dad that finds a piece of wood and runs downstairs like to put under the center support of the bed or like level the dresser. Mm-hmm. I was so proud of myself because I was going to throw that piece of styrofoam away 2 weeks ago when I was up there wrapping up.
You kept it,
and I kept it. And I'm like, I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
Love it.
It was great.
Outstanding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Joe, one thing I remember from when you were on the show before is you were featured on a nationally broadcast television show.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of being part of a franchise is it's way bigger than I could ever be myself. So yeah, we were on a TV show called Operation Hidden Treasures. It aired on the Discovery Channel and the American Hero Network. There were 10 episodes and my crew was in 9 of them, which was awesome. And one of the best memories for me was it aired on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on Discovery. So before church, I'd sit down with my family and they would watch Dad on TV. Like that's something that's
great.
And they'll remember for the rest of their life. So that was, it was really cool. And again, it just kind of highlights how we help people. We were picking up items and donating them to people that needed them. Like it's doing the harder right.
Can you talk or maybe share a story about how your work with J-Dog has helped a veteran or helped a family in need?
Absolutely. So We try to do giveaways a lot. I donate to, I don't know if you remember, like 2 years ago on New Year's, there was a half a duplex that burnt down here in Lancaster. And the one family on the left side, the gentleman was a vet. He reached out to the Lebanon VA, was like, I just lost everything. I need help. They said, why don't you give J-Dog Lancaster a call? So I met him and his wife at our warehouse in Willow Street. And I said, anything you want, I got you. And the wife was funny. She kept going around, well, how much is this? I'm like, ma'am, your husband has a DD-214. That's the releasement papers from the military. I was like, he's already paid for this. So they picked everything they wanted. We donated a full trailer to them. My crew and I took everything into their new place. The bedroom set up to the bedroom, dining room set in the dining room. And yeah, we just ended it with a thank you for your service. And that's doing the harder right. And even yesterday, we linked up with the Parksburg VFW, which I'm the senior vice commander there, and a motorcycle club called Abate. And we donated 2 full trailers to Goodwill, and all the proceeds of that, because Goodwill gave a monetary donation to those 2 organizations, all those proceeds were split between the VFW and Abate. So again, items that we were paid to pick up by customers, we held on to, and now we're reinvesting that into the community. That's awesome. It's doing the harder right. And it fills my bucket. I do it for selfish reasons. It makes me feel great. Like it literally fills my bucket. Awesome.
I love the work that Abate does as a motorcycle rider. So it's awesome. Nice. Awesome to hear. What you just shared about helping that family in need on New Year's 2 years ago, fellow veteran, of course, is just great. And I'm reminded of all the logos here. Right now, our government is back open. I've been told. We kind of make our own dreams here, so I don't pay too much attention to the news, but it is good we're back open. But in the meantime, there's I'm looking at Blessings of Hope, Lancaster Food Hub. Who else is around the walls here? Saka was able to help out. Power Packs. Lancaster is a great community. All we're doing is just giving them a voice. We don't really claim any status. They do all the work. We've just shared and helped amplify their mission. But I love how there is such a great community effect, and I love that you're a part of it that way and able to help in that moment, because I can't imagine a fire. We had a flood and it was so disruptive, and it was our basement. We have a little movie room down there. That was, it was ill-timed in that I had my knee replaced too. So I was like weeks away from that complete, basically leg rebuild, because it wasn't just a knee. And we felt, I don't know the word, it's certainly not on the level of somebody who had a fire, but we were in that ballpark of disruption and emotional upheaval. So I can't imagine a fire, but then you're there to step in and you're just like, yeah, we got you 2 trailer loads. We'll take them.
Absolutely.
We'll take them there. That's awesome. Just love it. So tell us about this newest venture. It seems like you're busy enough, but you're wearing it on your chest, which I love. Gave us stickers, which is great. We need to start like a board of, somebody puts their stamp on. So maybe it's a sticker, maybe it's an autograph.
Cool. Nice. Yeah.
Maybe we can figure that out here. Anyhow.
Yeah. So how this started
tell
is
us about Sober Vet Podcast.
As you guys know, I'm an Army vet. What you may not know is I self-medicated with alcohol for years, literally to the point where I almost lost everything. Like I was saying earlier, with alcohol, you have to drink more to get to that same level of buzz that you want to get to. Well, my wife noticed it was a problem. So like any good spouse, she was like, why don't we just kind of limit what you're doing? Maybe let's only drink on the weekends. I was like, all right, great. So on the weekends, I was getting blackout drunk because I was waiting all week for that goal at the end of the week. And then she was like, all right, let's dial that back some. Maybe only have 3 beers per Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was like, all right, I could do that. The addict in me would not allow that. So I would buy a 6-pack and drink 3 beers in front of my wife, but strategically in the house, I would have little bottles of Southern Comfort that I would sneak off and do a shot of, and because 3 beers won't be enough to get me there. So I did what an addict does and started hiding things. Then my wife noticed I was getting more drunk than I should be on 3 beers. So she's kind of like, what is happening? And then being a business owner, I'm going to a lot of networking events. A lot of networking events are at bars and places that are revolved around drinking. And as an addict, I wouldn't limit myself. So one day after a networking event, I came home. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I passed out on the couch. I drank way too much, drove home, which is totally irresponsible, especially my line of work where I'm driving around all day, like doing junk removal. So my wife came home, found me passed out on the couch. She finally had enough. That was literally that night is when I was passed out on the couch. She went through the house and was like,
so she took that photo.
She took that photo. And what you don't see, I cropped that photo because what she did was she went through the house, found all my empty bottles of SoCo because I was hiding them. So she was like, I know he's hiding them somewhere. So she found them all, put them all next to the table, next to the couch. And what I cropped out of that was my empty bottles because the next day she needed proof to find, because I was like, when I was an addict, my ego was so forefront. If you didn't have proof, I'm deny. What are you talking about? I didn't drink, So yeah, the next day she literally was like, she put me on the front porch after work and was like, we need to talk. And I was like, what's up? I knew something was coming because I did mess up. She was like, you have to get out. I was like, what do you mean I have to get out? This is my house. I pay the mortgage. I have to get out. Yeah, you're not doing the right thing. You're the one messing up. Me and the kids have done nothing wrong. If you can't stop drinking, you need to leave. And I'm like, babe, I run my business out of the house. Like, I can't leave. She was like, not my problem. You're doing this. This is not my problem. So that literally scared me straight. I was like, all right, how about this? I'll quit for 6 months. Because when you're in it, to stop indefinitely is almost unobtainable because you just can't fathom that. So I was like, let me quit for 6 months and then we'll reassess. So she was like, all right, you could stay. So that day I quit cold turkey, which I don't recommend because the level I was drinking to quit cold turkey, I could have died.
Wow.
Because just by removing it that quickly. So if you're going to do that, do it under medical supervision. I didn't know that because I was just uneducated back then. So yeah, I quit cold turkey. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I never sugarcoat sobriety. It's very difficult, but it's the most rewarding. Like in the beginning, I felt like I was unplugged from the matrix. I felt like an armor was removed and I'm now naked dealing with like emotions and stuff. Like all the things I was masking and pushing down were now coming to the surface. And I'm like, crap, like I have to deal with it now because there's no option to kind of push it back down. So in the beginning, by doing these little wins of having a bad day and not drinking at the end of that day and waking up the next day and going, I just made it through a bad day without alcohol. That's interesting. Something amazing happens. Not celebrate with alcohol. I'd go to Giant and buy a dozen cookies and eat half of them. Like, that's my celebration. Wake up the next day and, I don't have a hangover. I survived a celebration. That's interesting. So by doing these little wins, I started to gain my confidence back. And then about the 6 or 8 month mark, I started doing these weekly celebration sobrieties. Every Saturday morning, I would do a ruck march at the Salisbury Woods Preserve near my house. It's like a 5.3 mile ruck through the woods and very difficult, but it keeps me accountable because the last thing I would ever do or want to do on a Saturday morning while hungover would throw this 50-pound rucksack on and go 5.3 mile walk in the woods. So it makes me maintain my sobriety.
There you are, rocking.
Yep. And it twists it because now that's a weekly celebration. It's not, woe is me, I'm not allowed to drink. It's like, I'm sober. This is amazing.
Here's another week.
Exactly. Another week down. Like, this is me killing it, Like, I've done something that no one in the world could say they've done. I beat Joe Yurick, and that's what my bracelet says. I beat Joe Yurick because that's my superpower. I'm now sober. I did that, and it was very difficult. So 6 or 8 months in, I was on a ruck march, and I try to get like inspiration on these walks. I'm very religious. I know God talks to me. So for like the first 6 months, I would go on these walks and nothing in my head. I'm just enjoying nature. So if I got a little frustrated, so I'm like, God, here I am. Like, I'm sober. I think I'm on the path you want me to be on. Like, use me. Just give me something. Be a conduit. Like, I want to do your work. Just give me something. And on this walk, in my head, clear as day, I heard this sober vet. I'm like, this sober vet, what is that? So then I started running with, I was like, is that a podcast? Is that a way for me to show how cool sobriety is for other veterans? Because that's a conversation I've never heard before. So I come home, I'm on fire. I tell my wife, I'm like, babe, God talked to me, he gave me this idea, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, that's cool and all, but you're just one vet that stopped drinking. Like you need to link up with someone with credentials, like a therapist. And I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. So I reached out to my network, thinking my network was massive. Apparently, I know 1,000 vets. I know 100 therapists. Couldn't find one therapist that was also a vet. And I'm like, they need to be a vet because they need to be able to connect on that level. So then one morning before church, I'm scrolling through IG, and here I see Sergeant Thomas, who was our supply sergeant when we deployed. She posts about Evolve Therapy in her therapy practice. I'm like, why didn't I think of Sergeant Thomas? So I reached out. I was like, hey, Sergeant T, I have this really cool idea. Can you call me? So she called me that afternoon, and I told her my idea, and she was like, that's amazing. I would be honored to be a part of this. So she agreed to come on board. So it's Dr. T and myself. Episode 1 was my sobriety story, because I figured, how can I expect my guests to be vulnerable if I don't be vulnerable first? Yep. And then episode 2, moving forward, we have male, female, all branches. It's not just alcohol, it's opioids, other addictions, just telling their sobriety wins, because all we want to do is we want to be a ray of light for those still in the dark. No one's going to quit till they're ready. But if there's veterans who are struggling and they hear all these other vets, how they made it and all of our sobriety wins, maybe they'll go, man, you know what? Like if they could do it. There's one more. Yeah. That was one of our latest episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's just some veterans having conversations about their sobriety wins. Big.
What's just a little quick pause. What's your wife's name?
Katie.
Katie's a rock star.
Oh, she's amazing.
I mean,
Saved your life.
100%.
like a hero for you.
Yeah.
I mean, calls you on your nonsense,
Yes.
holds you accountable. And I'm just happy you got Katie.
Dude, so am I. Episode 10 is actually Katie telling my sobriety story through her eyes, which didn't paint me in the best light, but it gave a voice to the spouse. Yeah. And one thing that resonated with me was, for all the nights where I did something dumb, passed out, and forgot about it, she remembers everything. That's tough. So yeah, episode 10, if you listen to one episode, listen to episode 10. It was very emotional, but good.
Yeah. So you're digging into the tough topics.
You have to, because with sobriety, there's only truth. You can't lie about being sober. Yeah. And that's why I always say I don't sugarcoat it. It is the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the most rewarding, because 3.5 years, I haven't woken up with a hangover. I haven't woken up with regret. My health is better. My money's better. My relationships are better. Literally everything is better. So that's why we're on a mission to normalize sobriety with veterans, because in the veteran community, a lot of us are suffering and no one's talking about it. Yeah. So I'm here to talk about it.
So let's say there's a veteran watching today. Obviously, they should tune into your podcast if they have addiction challenges. What are some resources that you could direct them to get help? I mean, you cut it out cold turkey and said you don't recommend that. What are some resources for those who are struggling, really in any walk of life, that are struggling with addiction? Yeah,
number one, you need a support system. You cannot do this alone. I had my wife, I had my religion, my friends. Like, it's tough. If you're a veteran, go to the VA. They have programs that can help you. They're very well versed in this, and they can medically make sure you're weaning off of it the right way. Yeah. There's AA, which is huge. And the thing with AA, you might have to go to 5 different AA groups to find your tribe. Not every AA meeting is for everybody. Keep looking. Same thing with a therapist. I got a male therapist when I first started, and it took me, I had to go to 3 different therapists before I locked in with this one guy, because the first 2, like, I just didn't resonate with, and I didn't want to give up, because again, I knew I couldn't do this myself. So yeah, therapy, AA, the VA, and listen to our podcast. Because when you hear other people going through it, you could definitely relate and be like, man, I was there. Like, oh, this guy did that to do it. Let me try that. You know, like, yeah, just know that you could do it, because our strength is in our choices. I'm choosing to be sober. And another thing I tell people is, the only regret I have with sobriety is that I didn't do it 20 years ago. Like, I'd be in a totally different space today if I did it longer ago. But like,
yeah, but you're 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah, man, you're 3.5 years ahead now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that old adage: the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago.
Right.
Best time to get sober 20 years ago. Or you could just start today, but you don't have to say you started today. You started 3.5 years ago. You should get 3.5 years under your belt, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic.
And again, if you're in the thick of it, just try this for 6 months. If you're sober for 6 months and you don't see any positive changes, alcohol is still going to be there. The misery you're in is still going to be. You could always go back to it, but I guarantee you, in 6 months, you're going to be like, "Wow, this is amazing."
That's great. That's just really, really great. So connecting the podcast to J-Dog and the removal work, how do those two worlds intersect for you?
I think that as a veteran and even as a soldier, it's just ingrained in us to help our brothers and sisters. And I noticed through junk removal that we are hired by a lot of veterans, and a lot of veterans are struggling. And I didn't notice it before because I was struggling as well. But now that I'm sober, I look through life through a different lens, and I'm like, wow, a lot of us are hurting. So again, I just want to help people that are in the dark by being a ray of light.
So there'd be overt things you would see in somebody's home. Obviously, cases of beer bottles, empty glass bottles of booze, and then there might be not so apparent things. How do you broach that? Do you just bring it up? Do you leave Sober Vet podcast sticker behind? Like how?
What I generally ask people is I'll look them in the eye and say, "How are you doing mentally? Are you okay?" And people who are struggling, you could either see like they'll either start to tear up or they kind of like tense up a little. Like there's definitely a reaction. And as a veteran, they're more comfortable saying like, "Dude, like I am kind of struggling. My battle buddy just committed suicide. I don't know what to do." Yeah. Like there's so many triggers that can then set a veteran off to drink or self-medicate in a harmful way. So, but number one is talking about it. And like I said, no one's going to do it till they're ready. You can't force sobriety. You may for like a week or two, but as soon as they're doing good, they'll go right back to it. They have to be ready in here, and that's why by me sharing all these sobriety wins, I hope people are like, wow, if all those vets could do it, like, why can't I do it? Like I just need to listen to what these people are doing.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of lives changed from somebody watching your show?
So actually I do. So episode number 2 is my current truck commander, Steve. And he started with opioids before he was even in. And then when he was in, he was drinking and he was bad to the point where he was homeless. And like he really hit like some rock bottoms. Well, he had always told me once I hired him, he had talked about this one girl as the girl that got away. And he was like, I was with her during the height of my addiction and I didn't treat her right. And I just know she was the one, dude. Like he would always like beat himself up about it. Well, one morning we were on our way to a job and he keeps staring at his phone. I'm like, this is right after his episode came out. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, remember that girl I told you about? Like, I just got a message from her on Facebook, but there's no profile pic. Like, I don't know if someone's spamming me. And I'm like, well, ask her something only she would know. And she passed that test and she was like, she wants me to call her tonight. I'm like, dude, call her tonight. He was like, I don't know if I will. I'm like, bro, you have to call her. So the next morning, I'm like, how'd it go? And he was like, you're not going to believe this. He's like, this girl has had an Android phone as long as I've known her. For some reason, she just got an iPhone. And when she was scrolling through the apps, his episode just came out. So it popped up towards the top and she saw his name and she was like, that can't be my Steve. So she clicked on it and he has a very distinct, raspy Philly accent voice. She was like, holy crap, that's my Steve. So she listened to it like 3 or 4 times. And now that he's sober, she was like, I got to reach back out to him. That his episode came out in November of last year. They are still together to this day and they're doing so awesome.
Cool. That's great.
So that, like, I can't make that up. Like, he is so happy. And it was because of this podcast brought them back together.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I want to circle back. I asked you when you suspect something in the house, you just ask a couple questions. And the reason I want to circle back, we're Eagles fans.
Go Birds.
Let's go Birds, right? But, there was that tragedy with the Dallas Cowboys with Marshawn Neyland.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, you don't know. I mean, this is a rising star with the Cowboys. And he got his first defensive touchdown against the Cardinals. What was it, Sunday night or Monday night last week? And then later last week, ends up committing suicide.
He was only 24, right?
24.
God, so young.
And so here, and I bring it up through this lens because here's somebody working for I think the Cowboys franchise is valued at something like $12 or $15 billion. I've been to Frisco. I've been to the Star. I've stayed at the Omni at the Star. The resources that are available, I don't say this to brag. I say it to paint a lens of the resources that are available to the players because I've seen it. I've seen the Star practice facility. I've seen the gym. I've been in the Star Lounge where the players hang out, which, as an Eagles fan was tough.
Yeah.
But it was still a great experience. And I want to keep this focused on the issue. Here's somebody that had resources and it happened and he kills himself. A lot of veterans don't have those resources.
Right.
And so think about that. And those questions, again, I just want them to come up because maybe people can take that from here and they can reach out in their network. It doesn't even have to be a veteran, for crying out loud.
Right. Anyone. Yeah.
But anybody. So what are those questions that you said kind of like takes people back, gets them to tear up and gives them reason for pause?
Like I said, the how are you doing mentally, that kind of cuts right into it. But I mean, it's tough because as men, we don't want help. We don't want to talk about our feelings or emotions because that's a weakness. As military people, you're trained to suck it up and drive on. Like, I don't want to hear you, bitch. Like, drive on. Like, keep going. So it's kind of in our training not to. But again, a lot of people suffer in silence, and it's so unnecessary. Because I don't know about you, but anytime somebody comes to me and asks for help, I help them. It's as simple as shooting a text, a phone call, something like, dude, I'm struggling. Can you talk this out with me? Something. But you have to have that intestinal fortitude to reach out. Because again, even if you know someone's struggling, you reach out, bro, I'm good. But they're struggling. It's like, until they're ready to reach out and admit they have a problem, it's tough. And that's one thing that I don't know if there is a code to crack that yet. Because it's just, we're so like trained to not be vulnerable that it's just, it's not good.
Well, maybe part of the code is to say this, is to reach out to somebody that you think might be struggling, that you think's having a tough go, especially if they're a veteran. Now's a great time, right? Tomorrow's Veterans Day.
Exactly.
Hey, thinking of you. Thank you for your service. How are you doing? What is going on in that silence? How are you mentally? What Joe just shared. And if you don't get a reply or you get, hey, I'm good, but you still have this feeling, share the Sober Vet podcast, share this episode, share what Joe shared. Say, hey, I think you should watch it minute, I don't know the exact minute, but minute 17. I thought of you. And make that connection. That's why we do this show. And boy, it'd be pretty cool if somebody came around someday down the road here and sat right there, was like, yeah, I'm here because I listened to this show.
So quick story. One of my
Joe show.
Yeah, one of my J-Dog customers, she had reached out to me and she always would send me like different prayers and stuff. Like, she loves our mission. She said, my nephew is a Navy vet. He's struggling with drinking. Can I share your show? I'm like, absolutely. Like, that's our mission.
Yeah.
So a couple months go by and I just kind of wrote it off. She reached out and was like, quick update on my nephew. He listened to your show. He's now 2.5 months sober and he's doing great. I was like, really? Like, it's freaking awesome. Like, that shows. Like, I told my wife, we have 24 episodes out already. If we can affect one veteran per episode to get them to consider and try sobriety, mission accomplished, man. Like, that's all we want to do is spread this positivity. That's it.
Yeah. Love it.
A few things about this Sober Vet podcast. Tongue twister.
I know.
It's a video podcast.
Well, it's mainly audio. I do share some video.
Okay.
It's mainly audio right now, but we're on all major podcast platforms.
That's what I was going to ask. That's great.
And YouTube and our website.
So 24 episodes in, that's 2 seasons worth?
So we started last November and we released 2 episodes a month, the first and third Monday of the month. And next Monday is our season 1 closer, which is episode 25. We actually have the CEO of Grunt Style Clothing Company, which is the biggest veteran clothing brand in America.
That's awesome.
His name's Tim Jensen, and he's awesome. The story is very powerful. Like, you definitely got to tune into that one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And we often ask our guests that are talking about their business or organization, or in this case, podcast, what's next for the Sober Vet podcast?
So I want to get big enough that there should be a This Sober Vet Germany, This Sober Vet Japan, This Sober Vet Brazil, because this is not an American problem. Soldiers everywhere are self-medicating. the biggest thing, and the thing that hits home for me, is I want a ripple effect of our mission to normalize sobriety with veterans to bring that 22 a day number down. Right now, they say the suicide in the veteran community is 22 a day.
Wow.
I think it's actually larger than that, because not everyone reports suicides and checks to see if they're a vet. And,
Right.
so most of those people, when they make this horrendous decision, have some sort of substance in their body. And if we could normalize sobriety with veterans, a ripple effect should bring that number down. One of my guests, Michael DeGrave, I think he was episode 7 or 8. He was airborne, very good Army vet. He was like, listen, like, if you're a vet and you want to hurt yourself, do what Joe does. Do a ruck march every Saturday. Those things suck, but you'll be here tomorrow to hug your loved ones.
Yeah.
If you want to hurt yourself, go do jujitsu. You'll get beat up, but you'll be there tomorrow to hug your loved ones. Like, there's healthy ways to hurt yourself as a vet. You don't have to go to suicide route.
Yep. Yeah. Powerful stuff, man. Appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
So let's kind of call out how to connect with you more. So obviously we've got getting involved with JDog. Where's the best way if you need your services, hauling, decluttering, trash removal? Where do they go?
So JDog, you could call 844-GET-JDog, or you could go to just Google JDog, or go on our Facebook page, which is JDog of Lancaster. That is my direct cell on there. That's probably the easiest way. And then, as I said, for This Sober Vet, you could go to our website, which is www.thissobervet.com. You could go on YouTube, just look up This Sober Vet, or go on any major platform that you listen to podcasts on and just search This Sober Vet. And a way you could help us get to the top of these searches is review us. Give us a 5-star review and say, wow, what a great mission. Anything helps, because the more reviews we get, the higher we come up on those searches.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, literally, it's going to take you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great show, lots of value, 5 stars, enter. That's less than 7 seconds.
Right. The more people watching the show, the more lives changed.
Absolutely.
Right. Or saved.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right, man. Appreciate you being here. We got one more thing to do.
Okay.
Connection cocktail.
Yes, we do. You've been through one of these before?
I believe so. Yes. I thought we were going to arm wrestle because we're in person, but that's fine. We can do the cocktail.
Yeah. That would be something. I don't know.
This is a non-alcoholic connection cocktail.
Yes,
It is.
correct.
Yes. It is. The arm wrestling breaks the rules of table noise and knocking.
True.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
All right. I'll start it off. Favorite book, podcast, or TV show? And you can shameless self-plug for This Sober Vet.
Yeah, I was going to say favorite podcast is This Sober Vet podcast. Favorite TV show is probably How I Met Your Mother. Me and my wife watch that all the time. It's hilarious. I love that show. I could watch that forever. And The Office. The Office and How I Met Your Mother are shows I could watch on repeat forever.
Yeah, The Office is definitely one of those shows. You can pick up any episode anytime, halfway through, whatever.
Yes.
You know what's going to happen, and you're still going to laugh.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Dream vacation, somewhere you've never been but always wanted to go.
So I want to go wherever I could fit the most amount of castles in a 2-week period, whether it's Scotland, Germany, wherever, Poland. I just want, and my wife and I are going to plan this once the kids are out of the house. It'll be our first, just my wife and I vacation. And I want to view and tour as many castles as I can.
That's very cool.
I've always wanted to do that. And a buddy of mine just did it a year ago. And I was so jelly. I was like, babe, we have to do this. So yeah, as soon as the kids
just follow
go,
their itinerary.
I might. Yeah. Because they hit a lot of castles and it just looked so awesome. Like, I just want to feel like, just see what it feels like.
Feel the history.
Yeah, exactly.
Immersed in it.
Oh, dude, it'd be so cool.
Yeah. All
Actually, maybe I'll do that after I buy a mattress, and then we could do 7 days there. Who knows?
Our first 7 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Picked up on gardeners. I love it. Favorite local spot in Lancaster?
Most recently, I would say Ula Bowls. I've been really into the acai bowls. They're super healthy. And on my way, I stop at the Ula Bowl in Intercourse on my way to record, because I record at the Candy Factory here in Lancaster.
Yep.
And I get a Popeyes, which is a shake, and it has like spinach and protein, and it just gets my mind right for the podcast. So my tradition is I always get a Popeye shake on my way to record.
From
Ula Bowls in Intercourse. Yeah. Right on 340. It's delicious.
We'll have to check it out.
Ula bowls and intercourse. That's a demographic overlay I didn't expect.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Like if it
This
was
is
like
PG-13.
if it was like pot pie bowl, that would make sense.
Right.
But yeah, Ula
Yeah.
bowls and intercourse.
It's delicious.
Popeye shake.
Popeye shake. Yeah,
Recommended by Mr. J Dog himself, Joe Yurick.
absolutely. Yeah.
Joe, thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks again for your service on
Thank you,
Veterans
guys.
Day.
I appreciate the
day
opportunity.
before Veterans Day. We appreciate you.
Oh, and one more quick thing I want to say. So there's celebrations for everyone in the military, and just please act accordingly. So there's Veterans Day is for, well, let's start with Armed Forces Day. That's for people who are currently serving. Veterans Day are for people like me who have served and are not serving anymore. And then Memorial Day is for those who paid the ultimate price and passed away during their service. So Armed Forces is currently serving. Veterans are those who are living and got out. Memorial Day is for those who passed. So on Memorial Day, don't say, "Hey, happy Memorial." It's not. It's to give it up for them. So just keep in mind, there's a celebration for all aspects of the military, and just act accordingly.
Thanks for sharing, because I think a lot of times Memorial Day is just, for a lot of people, it's a reason to have a picnic.
Yeah.
Right. Family get together, vacation, whatever, but they don't think of what that sacrifice meant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great points of clarification, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Really do. Really do. All right. We got a little bit of business here to finish. My sleep better tip for the show is journaling. So I came across this last week. We had at one point produced this, just a simple journal to track your sleep manually. So I had things like, the time you go to bed, the time you wake up, how many times did you wake up at night, what was the duration of that waking up, your total sleep time, how'd you feel, tired or refreshed, your position, what positions you wake up in the morning, what are those aches and pains, what'd you do 1 hour before sleep, what'd you eat and drink before sleep, any noteworthy events from the day, and just repeat that for 30 days. I'm going to update this. Today, of course, there are things like the Oura Ring, which I wear. Okay. All kinds of sleep trackers. Tempur-Pedic has a great sleep tracking technology in the base. There's things you can attach to your bed. Point being, you can go analog, the old school way. You could ask ChatGPT things you should be tracking, or you could get an Oura Ring or some other kind of sleep tracker. You could certainly come and talk with us about how that tech integrates with a new mattress. The point is, spend time thinking about your sleep. Spend time thinking about what you put into it and what you get out of it and what happens throughout the night. And, follow that for 30 days. Like Joe said, give sobriety a chance for 6 months and you're going to be a happier person, a better person. And when it comes to sleep, give it 30 days and you're going to learn some things and you're going to be able to change some of those habits. If you want great tips like that, we'll mail you the book, Sleep Better. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better and we'll send you your free copy today.
Awesome. Good stuff. Testimonial time for Gardner's Mattress and More, who produces this show, Lancaster Connects, every Monday at 2:00. We had a Google review from a person named Jeff. This is not you. You did not write this testimonial.
I did not write it.
This is a different Jeff. Jeff wrote, "I had the pleasure of meeting Ben and Drew. Both of them were friendly, professional, and not the least bit pushy. All refreshing, very professional in every aspect. Highly recommend Gardner's if you're looking for a better night's sleep." I have a confession to make. I don't think he met me. It was probably Phil or Chad. The customers get emails from me and they recognize my name. So I think he put my name in the email.
It's okay. We're a team here.
But yeah. So thank you for your testimonial and review here. And we appreciate your business.
On our way out the door, last minute of the show, November, great opportunity to invest in that sleep, to feel better. Sleep is the thing that supports every healthy decision you make in your life, no matter where you are with that health journey. It is that foundational thing that can help you. This is a great month to make that investment. November, as I said at the top of the show, has become one of those great mattress months, mattress holiday months to invest and save some money. And you get that 7-day luxury travel voucher worthy of getting out your best cabana wear and putting on some fancy shades and feeling a certain way about yourself. And you get to do that because you shop with Lancaster County's favorite mattress store, Gardner's Mattress and More.
So instead of spinning the wheel, we should make the Lancaster Connects and Gardner's special. If you wear your cabana wear to shop for a mattress, you get something.
Okay, I like that because I forgot all about the wheel again. So yes,
Usually I'm forgetting about the wheel.
Shop in your cabana wear, and you'll get whatever this prize is.
Yep, there we go.
But you got to wear cabana wear. It could be something you could cheat. You can just bring your sunglasses in from your car.
There you go.
But we want to have some fun.
Not everybody has Vipers.
Right. Well, not, yeah, you got to rock this. This is something.
You know, that's oddly Cowboys colored. It's
What did you just say?
Tragic.
Chris, turn his mic off.
I may not make it out of the building
No.
alive.
It's too, what
Yeah,
disrespect.
I got you. I know. I got you.
What disrespect to our guest. So $25 donation in your name with
That's
purchase.
cool.
That's fun, right? So get out your cabana wear again. You could cheat. Just be sunglasses. It could be a pink polo, and maybe pink was your color for the day. Who knows? Or a light blue. But yeah, we'll make a. Oh, look, there
That's
you
my
are, your
Eagles
Chelsea
jersey. Yep.
jersey.
That's
But
right.
yeah, we'll make a $25 donation in your name. That's a special only for the show, only for people who watch. So if you come in with your cabana wear, we'll make that $25 donation in your name. And you get all the great November and Black Friday specials that are going on, along with the luxury travel voucher with qualifying purchase. That's the show. Joe, thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thank you
the
for your
opportunity.
service.
In person.
Yep.
We appreciate you. And we'll see you next Monday at 2:00 on Lancaster Connects.